I'm Eoghan Cleary, and I'm a second year civil engineering student. And we're working. Sorry, you on?
And I'm Evan Dowd, and I'm also a second year civil engineering student at NUI.
And we're both working on a project to do with the National Park City in Galway. And we're here interviewing Colin Lawton, who's an outdoor lab advocate for the project.
Okay. So, Colin, why are you involved in the Galway National Park City?
Well, I'm a lecturer here in the university in NUI Galway, and I've been involved with projects that are based on the natural environment around Galway for a number of years. So I've been in the university since 2001, and my own area of expertise is in mammal ecology. And so I work mostly in field work out of the lab and in natural parks and woodlands and so on. And we use a lot of our green spaces around Galway as locations for projects for our students, but also as places to bring our undergrads out to do some lab experiments and so on, or what would be lab experiments, but based out in the field.
That's good. And what's your actual role in the project for the National Park City then?
Sorry, say that again.
What's your role in the project?
Well, I was asked, I've been working with Brendan Smith, who's the founder of the project for a number of years. We were involved in the Terryland Park project and getting that sort of planted as a forest and maintained then after that. And I've also been involved in various projects with schools, basically bringing kids out into the parks around Galway and other places, and showing them how to find tracks and signs of mammals and so on. So I became involved. This project is very important, the National Park City. These green spaces are really vital to the people of the city. We need places to go for our mental health and for our well-being and so on, but also for the wildlife. Urban environments are becoming more and more important. There's an urban sprawl occurring, and so we need to ensure that there are places for wildlife to survive and persist even in these urban environments. Some species like rats and mice are going to be okay, but other ones like foxes, stoats, pine martens, squirrels, they still need trees and green spaces and vegetation and cover in order to survive. And the parks are very important, and it was a great opportunity to get involved in the project and to be an advocate for using our spaces for the better of ourselves and also for the wildlife and for education as well.
And what do you think the benefits of having a National Park City for Galway will be for the citizens of Galway?
Well, it's a great way of making sure that these parks and natural environments are considered at all levels. So any decision that's made in the city, will be taking into account that these are really important places that need to be protected. And so having this status as a national park city will help us to ensure that the green spaces aren't lost or sacrificed for other uses.
And we were looking at designing an outdoor classroom to go into one of the parks. So how do you think that would benefit the city as well as the park itself?
Well, the whole idea for me of having this outdoor lab or outdoor classroom is just having the spaces available for people to go into. See, different exercises you might do depending on what animals or plants that you're looking at may require certain bits of equipment. You don't really need to set anything up. It's just about having the spaces there, encouraging people to go into them, and even providing some source materials for teachers and lecturers and other community group leaders to use when they go in, so that they know what's there, what they're talking about, can help to bring it to a broader audience and so on. So it's just about having those spaces and keeping them there and having some information available for people as well to make the best use of them.
And what knowledge would you have that we could utilize to plan for this outdoor classroom?
Well, this is as I said, one of the great things that we have so many different champions involved with the park with so many different areas of expertise. As I said, I'm a mammal ecologist, but within zoology, we've got experts on insects and experts on freshwater fish and so on. We then have botanists, you have people who are in geography and earth and ocean science. So there's lots of people who could make use of the park, and they could all provide the information that's required. So there's a lot of resources we can bring together that then can be used by everybody, people throughout the city, to make the best use of it.
And finally, where, from your knowledge, where do you think would be the most suitable location for us to plan to put one?
Well, if you were for developing a lab and encouraging people to go out, my advice would be to have a number of different locations, because just from a logistical point of view, you want it to be somewhere that everybody can get to. Now, around the city, there are a number of green spaces, but the really important spaces are those that are more natural. And so like a lawn that is effectively a football pitch is not going to have much in the way of nature and wildlife of interest to us. So working from east to west across the city, we've got Merlin Park, we've got Terryland in the centre, we've got Dangan on the university grounds, and then in the west you've got Barna Woods. These are all wonderful resources that could be there for people. If there were areas, locations that are sort of plotted out and available, that are protected specifically for people to use, that's great. But just having those areas in general available, and then the resources and whatever sort of materials are needed for the activities to be available for people and school teachers and so on as well, would be great.
That's perfect.
Perfect.